stark policy differences, obviously, Mr. President, but one thing that I think that at least the perception is that there's not a whole lot of difference between what you think we should do with entitlements or non-discretionary spending and what President Biden is proposing. It's almost the third rail of politics. And we've got a $34 trillion total debt built up, and very little we can do in terms of cutting spending. Discretionary is not going to help. Have you changed your outlook on how to handle entitlements, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, Mr. President? It seems like something has to be done, or else we're going to be stuck at 120% of debt to GDP forever.
So first of all, there is a lot you can do in terms of entitlements, in terms of cutting, and in terms of also the theft and the bad management of entitlements, tremendous bad management of entitlements. There's tremendous amounts of things and numbers of things you can do. So I don't, necessarily agree with the statement.
Let's be crystal clear here. Donald Trump will cut Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid if he becomes president. Period, full stop. If he's willing to say as much now on the campaign trail and espouse a position that's already unpopular, then have zero doubt that he will destroy those programs if he actually becomes president and is no longer encumbered by trying to win an election. So if you're a senior, if you're disabled, if you're low income, if you have friends or family or neighbors who rely on any of those programs, Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid, just know that a vote for Trump is a vote to ensure that those programs wither. There's also the fact that he literally already did it. When Donald Trump was president, his full-year budget in 2021, for example, cut Medicare by $500 billion and $79 billion from Social Security. He is telling you what he will do, showing you what he will do. Believe him. In fact, I want you to see more of Trump's response to this question, but I'm going to put the words on the screen and read them to you myself so that you can really hear what this guy is saying. Quote, "There's tremendous amounts of things and numbers of things you can do, so I don't necessarily agree with the statement. I know that they're going to end up weakening Social Security because the country is weak. I mean, take a look at outside of the stock market. What we're going through hell. People are going through hell. They have, I believe that number is 50%. They say 32 and 33%. I believe we have a cumulative inflation of over 50%. That means people are, they have to make more than 50% more over a fairly short period of time to stay up. They've gotten routed. The middle class in our country has been routed, and the middle class largely built our country, and they have been treated very, very badly with policy." Okay, so, that's nonsense. Literally, it is all nonsense. It doesn't mean anything. It's a bunch of words strung together that make sense alone, but mean quite literally nothing in a sentence. He thinks inflation is over 50%, but they say 32 and 33? Who says 32 and 33? 32 and 33 what? I've seen hungover college freshmen bullshit their way through financial accounting questions more coherently than whatever it was Donald Trump just did. We all know that if Joe Biden issued that same incomprehensible word salad, it would be nonstop cognitive decline from Sean Hannity and Laura Ingraham until they ran out of breath in their bodies. Do not give a pass to Donald Trump when he does the exact same thing. Also, notice how he says that the middle class has been treated very badly with policy. My dude, you passed a tax cut for billionaires while letting the middle class wither. In fact, Trump promised a middle class tax cut that never actually materialized, all because he was pandering for their votes ahead of midterms in 2018. So if he's looking for the culprit for a routed middle class, might I suggest a mirror? Now, as far as Trump's position on earned benefits, this isn't a one-off. This isn't one of those instances where Trump says something mindlessly and he didn't really mean it. He has said the same thing before on numerous occasions. Don't take it from me, take it from him. Here is Donald Trump himself reiterating his support for cutting earned benefits in the past.
One last question.
Go ahead.
Entitlements ever be on your plate?
At some point they will be. We have tremendous growth. We're going to have tremendous growth. This next year, it'll be toward the end of the year. The growth is going to be incredible. And at the right time, we will take a look at that. That's actually the easiest of all things, if you look, because it's such a big percentage.
If you're willing to do some of
If you don't cut something in entitlements, you'll never really deal with the debt.
We'll be cutting, but we're also going to have growth like you've never had before.
And it's not just Trump. His entire party has expressed support for it, meaning there will be no bulwark against cutting your earned benefits if Republicans take control of government. Again, don't take my word for it, take theirs.
We need to use this debt ceiling to start us back in the direction of fiscal discipline. But look, we all know where the real issue is in terms of long-term debt for the United States. And that is that, while I respect the Speaker's commitment to take Social Security and Medicare off the table for the debt ceiling negotiations, we've got to put them on the table in the long term.
Anyone that says they're not going to take on entitlement reform means they're going to go in and be president and leave the country bankrupt. You can't do that. Yes, we have to do entitlement reform.
We're all struggling here to cover the bases of Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid and all the rest. If we had all those able-bodied workers in the economy, we wouldn't be going upside down and toppling over like this. Listen, the gentleman, I will not yield. I will not.
Disaster, and we have to talk about all the spending, including the entitlements, or we're going to ruin the country and ruin our currency.
Turning Medicare into a voucher system.
It's a really good start.
Look, I think I have to be excited about their response to the long-term challenges that we have in our entitlement programs. There's no doubt that we have to wrestle this beast to the ground and do the right things.
I'm here right now to tell you one thing that you probably haven't ever heard from a politician. It will be my objective to phase out Social Security, to pull it up by the roots and get rid of it. Here, here,
And let's just be honest here, we ignore these threats at our own peril. Remember, Republicans vowed to overturn Roe, and they did it. And even though we heard those threats for years, very few people actually believed they'd make good on them. And yet, now here we are, scrambling to find band-aid solutions now that reproductive rights have been stripped away in nearly half of all American states. And so as far as Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security are concerned, we've already been given the warning. Republicans have already made it perfectly clear that they intend to eliminate these programs and that they're not going to be responsive to the will of the majority of Americans. 70% of Americans support Roe. Did that stop them from enacting abortion bans? No. So if just as many people support Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, what makes you think that Republicans are suddenly going to listen to what the majority of Americans want? As far as they're concerned, they are there to impose their will on everyone else, regardless of whether anyone actually wants it. Joe Biden, for his part, made clear that he would protect those programs. He said as much at his biggest speech of the year during the State of the Union.
Tonight, let's all agree once again to stand up for seniors. Many of my friends on the other side of the aisle want to put Social Security on the chopping block. If anyone here tries to cut Social Security, Medicare, or raise the retirement age, I will stop you. The working people who built this country pay more into Social Security than millionaires and billionaires do. It's not fair. We have two ways to go. Republicans can cut Social Security and give more tax breaks to the wealthy. That's the proposal. Oh no, you guys don't want another $2 trillion tax cut? I kind of thought that's what your plan was. Well, that's good to hear. You're not going to cut another $2 trillion for the super wealthy. That's good to hear. I'll protect and strengthen Social Security and make the wealthy pay their fair share.
And his campaign wasted no time in driving that point home with a short ad.
You changed your outlook on how to handle entitlements, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid?
So first of all, there is a lot you can do in terms of entitlements, in terms of cutting.
If anyone here tries to cut Social Security, Medicare, or raise the retirement age, I will stop you. I will stop you.
So I repeat my message from the top. If Donald Trump is elected, he will cut your earned benefits. Benefits that you've paid into your entire lives on every single paycheck you've ever gotten. That is your money, but Trump doesn't care because he's not there to serve anybody else but the wealthy, and wealthy people don't need Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. So this is the warning. He's already told us what he'll do, so just know that a vote for Donald Trump is a vote to take away your own earned benefits. Before you go, I need some help. Please subscribe to the channel and do your part to help grow the progressive media ecosystem. I don't do sponsorships or paid ads, I won't ask for money, but just subscribing to this channel goes a really long way, and it helps get the message out to more people. The subscribe button is right here on this screen. You can also subscribe to my Spanish language channel, which I made to reach those crucial Spanish-speaking voters. That link is on the screen too. And finally, if you want to listen to my audio podcast, you can follow that link as well. Thanks so much for watching.